I love with this brewing method is that it creates a rich, clean cup of coffee where you can get all of the beautiful flavors in a subtle and very approachable way. Now, the ceramic cone holds heat flow during brewing, and the paper filter produces a soft body and cleaner flavor. Coffee leaders, before I start brewing, I want you to know that we have already sanitized my hands. Now, what I have here is the pour-over ceramic cone, the gooseneck kettle, and the server. But before that, the first step is to wet the paper filter and to create the ceramic cone. But before that, I have to ensure that the number 4 paper filter is sharply folded along the side and the bottom of the space. This will prevent the paper filter from collapsing. Now I'll dispense hot water up to the tall ice line on the kettle. This measurement is just enough to wet the entire paper filter. Now I dispense hot water to wet the paper filter and to preheat the ceramic cone. To ensure the proper extraction and will prevent the paper filter from collapsing and to remove the papery taste from our filter. Now, the next step is to dose and grind the coffee. But before that, I have to ensure that the grinder is clear of residual of coffee to avoid mixing of flavors. And for this brew, I'm going to use tall size, which is 3 Starbucks scoops or 30 grams of coffee, and use 4 scoops for grinding and use 5 scoops for venting. Remember, proper dosage ensures optimum coffee quality. And please excuse me as I will start grinding my coffee.
It's stressful.
Crazy.
Now coffee leaders, let's smell the dry aroma. What are you getting right now is an earthy and herbal aroma. Now, I'm going to tap the ceramic cone to ensure all the grounds are evenly distributed. And of course, I will remove the remaining water from our server because we don't want this water to be mixed with our coffee. Now, the next step is to brew the coffee. First, I'm going to brew the coffee by pouring hot water that is approximately double the amount of the grounds. Making sure all the grounds are wet, then pause for 5 seconds. A small amount of water allows the coffee to saturate and prepare the coffee to brew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to pour the remaining water by using a slow and even circular motion while maintaining a consistent and moderate rate of pour. While waiting for the coffee to brew, so let's take a glimpse of its history. Kape Vinta blend was created for the opening of the Philippine market in late 1997. Kape Vinta is a combination of both coffees from Philippines and Indonesia. With Kape Vinta, we are also helping our local farmers grow quality coffee and beat the standard quality set by the Starbucks. Now, Meralian coffee is a high altitude Arabica coffee that grows at 3,000 feet above sea level by the Talanding tribe in the highlands of Mount Tanglad in the province of Bukidnon, Philippines. Now, Kape Vinta stamp was designed by renowned Filipino artist Mauro Malang Santos. And Kape Vinta is Tagalog for coffee boat. Now, this coffee is our identity, not because the stamp art made by a Filipino artist or because the bag featured the colors of the flag, but it is the pride of our own Filipino coffee farmers. A better livelihood, a better life of our own countrymen is beyond every Kape Vinta that we have in our stores. Now, coffee leaders, allow me to taste the coffee first to ensure the flavor consistency. As expected, this coffee is brewed perfectly. Now, coffee leaders, as we smell the coffee, it will give us the earthy aroma where we can picture the paddy coffee farms where farmers toil on wet earth in order to bring us the best high quality coffee beans this world has to offer. And this beans is from Asia Pacific. Now, as we slurp the coffee, we can feel the smoothness and the boldness of this coffee that reminds me in my hometown, Bukidnon, and the earthiness of Benguet. It also has a low acidity due to its wash process beans and semi-wash process beans. Now, as you can feel, it has a mellow yet full body flavor. It has a very little lingering effect, some of the back of our tongue or side. So it's like eating a chocolate. And this coffee is one of our medium roast coffee as well. Now, as you, while the earthiness flavor of the coffee is there, you will also experience the mix of grassy herbs. And it's like drinking a garden. Now, coffee leaders, while enjoying your coffee, did you know that there are 6 steps in roasting process? So first, the green coffee loading. So beans are run through in a large machine called Cypria that shakes the beans to remove the non-coffee items that were missed during sorting. Second is batching. So integrate coffees that have been selected for pre-roast blending are batched out of the silos and then sent to roasters for roasting. Third is roasting. So from the silos, a large heating rotating drum, roasters can roast up to 400 to 600 pounds at a time for 12 to 15 minutes. So when beans reach their pinnacle flavor of development, then there's a time that they release into full shape. Now, the fourth is the color analyzing. So a small sample of roasted coffee is ground and analyzed by a machine called Altrode. So if the coffee roast is within the specific color range for the recipe, then there's a time that the coffee is transferred to brown coffee silos. Then the fifth is storage. So the roasted coffee is stored in silos until it is packaged. And the last one is the posters blending and packaging. Now, coffee roast, so the coffee that has been selected for posters blending are transported to a large rotating drum where they will be mixed in specific recipe proportion with the other varietals. And finally, the coffee is packaged until arriving in our stores. Now, coffee leaders, while enjoying their coffee, allow me to showcase my skills in making one of our favorite core beverage, Kape Latte. But before that, let me show you the expected art that I'll be making on my latte. First, I'll be making Adobe. Now, please excuse me as I prepare my first Kape Latte art.
Pakita mo rin latte art painting sa or sa sense. Same lang. One more round. May kunan naman yung mga bata sa likod. Picture ka na. Pwede mo para matay mo ba rin sa
Nan.
Now, 5-year tool, as this represents my dream, hard work, passion, and dedication, and success of being a future coffee master. Now, coffee leaders, please excuse me as I prepare my second latte art.
Mana mas hait siya. Mana mas hait na.
Lagi mo bitaw mo na adjust
Other, gamit sila
Pwede.
It's other picture. Anyways, practice.
lagi.
our rosette. Now, why rosette? Because I was inspired by a coffee master, Girlie Cape. So when I was just a beginner, I struggled making one in achieving a rosette. So as continued, time goes by, she noticed that I'm having a hard time in achieving the rosette. So she offered to coach me until I succeeded in achieving my rosette. Now, coffee leaders, coffee leaders, allow me to show my latte art. Now, while enjoying my coffee latte, allow me to excuse me, as I'll be making my signature beverage. But before that, I want you to smell the freshly mint leaves to give you a hint about my signature beverage.
Diba yun?
Now, coffee leaders, please excuse me as I prepare my signature beverage.
Madam eh.
Yung ngay kung kape.
Ikaw sa mag-latte art? Ikaw mag-latte art?
Oh, grabe siya. Ngay, ito kung kape. Jadi ano po na uy? Kasi po sila.
Now, my signature beverage has inspired me as being a barista and a former food and beverage associate or bartender. Now, my signature beverage has three main ingredients. First, mint leaves. Second, the Starbucks mint syrup. And third one, of course, the Kape Vinta blend. First, I use a mint leaf because this herb is famous or well known in my hometown. Second, I use 7.5 ml of the Starbucks mint syrup to add a notable taste to our tea. Lastly, I use a 20 grams of Kape Vinta blend and grind it to a Turkish grind and brewed using espresso machine.
Kape Vinta.
Now, coffee leaders, for this beverage, you will also experience the earthiness and the boldness of this coffee with a hint of mint flavor to create a flavorful cup of iced coffee.
Ding, 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 ding.
Gamayanan eh, gwapo na kayo.